Yes, I said it. 0. You pay nothing.
Pastel pink in the sunset. You know I never wanna make you upset. How did I become so obsessed with this?
Bonjour mes amis! Ça va? I hope you guys are having a great day today. On my side, it is hella hot in France. Jesus Christ, I don't think we're going through like some serious heat wave of sorts, so I am dying of heat, but it's okay guys, it's okay because we love you guys and I want to add value to your guys' lives. I am here today in the heat bringing you a video on studying abroad and living abroad on my series that you guys know I've started. I've had 1 episode already and this is the second episode I'm going to be doing on my series. So today I'm going to be speaking to you about okay, now you've chosen that you want to go and study abroad and you know you're ready to go and study abroad. But my question now is, where should you study if you're going to study? Because I'm starting off with the studying aspect because that's how I got here, and then on to later episodes we'll go into working here, etc. So hence why today is going to be only about studying abroad. So you've decided you want to study abroad, and question is, first of all, how much is it going to cost? Where's the best place to go? Questions like that. So majority of the time people will choose to either go to Europe or let's say America to go study abroad, because those are the most of the time have the best universities and best opportunities for international students. So generally I'm going to be basing it on that. And in my personal opinion, I think for the following reasons, I believe that studying in Europe is probably the best opportunity and in my opinion, the best choice when it comes to studying abroad, especially when you're studying on a budget. So you're asking me, how am I gonna, you've decided you want to do this, but it costs money to study abroad. Well, just an example why I believe that maybe you should think about studying in Europe as compared to maybe the USA. USA is obviously also has many opportunities. It's a great place to go and study. It has many highly rated universities of the world. Harvards and Stanfords, etc. So definitely not taking away from that, but I'm talking more realistically about a person who doesn't have necessarily the funds or is thinking about, okay, besides the country itself, what else am I going to gain from studying in America? So I'm going to give you an example. I think for doing my research, I found out that in regards to a normal university tuition fee for a master's course, it would be a minimum of $30,000 up to $130,000 in terms of tuition. That's a lot of money if you think about it, over just for 1 year in studies. And that's not just taking into account, let's just talk the tuition fees. America is very well known for having high tuition fees, hence like the debt is such an issue, student debts is such an issue. So be aware of that. It's very expensive in regards to paying tuition in America. So you'll pay a minimum of $40,000 for a master's degree in America. And that's before you take into consideration things like living costs, flights back home, or what have you. So you end up paying up to $140,000 if you're to study in America. That's up to 2 million rands to study. Just to study for 1 year. This is not about necessarily just money only. I'm just gonna give you examples of why I think Europe is a better option as an alternative to the Americas. For example, Europe actually has universities which are free. Yes, I said it. 0. You pay nothing. And this is not just as an EU citizen. This is as all international students can actually study for free. An example of this is in Germany. Germany, you literally have universities, public universities, which you pay 0. You pay nothing. $500. That's nothing. For a whole year, you're paying $500 to go to get yourself a master's degree in a highly rated, highly recognized university in Europe. That's just like a deal and a half. And this is not only talking about master's degrees, it's also speaking about MBAs, which are expensive. Any MBA anywhere across the world is generally quite expensive. So the fact that you can get that for free is insane. It's ridiculous. So really, when you think about that aspect, 2 million free, I'm just saying. But anyway, beyond that, yes, you have to pay for living expenses. That obviously will come into play. But there are many universities in Germany where which are highly rated in areas which are not so expensive, such as Frankfurt or Berlin, which you can actually go to and get your degree done there. You pay a minimum of around $10,000 for living expenses for the whole year. No, not just for 1 month, relax, just for a whole year of studying abroad. So literally that's all you have to pay. That's all you have to consider for yourself is, are you able to actually put together 10,000 to go and study abroad? I mean, that's a minimum of 190,000 rands. It's still a lot of money, but there are many scholarships and opportunities specifically for master's students that can help you to decrease that amount. And on top of it, in most universities and most countries in Europe, you actually can study and work at the same time. So you can study up to 60% of your visa time, so in terms of hours. So literally you can have a full-time job and make up for the fact that you are still living, in Europe, and at the same time you get to study and work at the same time. And you can get there's so many opportunities for students. You can babysit, you can work. Like, it's really, really, really easy to find yourself a part-time job while you're doing your master's. The country you can consider, it would be France. France is unfortunately a bit different. France itself is quite there's no free education for non-EU students. I think as you can pay up to you pay a minimum of $400 if you are from the EU state, one of the EU countries, but as a non-EU student you'll pay a minimum of $2,000 up to $4,000. So that might sound like a lot. It is a lot. But if you choose a university, first of all, that is not in Paris, because Paris itself is quite expensive, you will end up paying minimum of $500 to $600 to live and survive in France. And on top of that, you also are able to work part-time, not full-time, but part-time. So you can supplement that on top of it. And come here. You want to hear this? There's so many benefits. It's insane. First of all, there's things like CAF, which actually pay half of your rental just because you're a student. Even as an international student, they pay half of that. There's things like you get discounts, like insane discounts for transport if you are a student. There's so many things that they benefits. Oh, on top of it, medical aid. You don't pay for medical aid as if you're a student. You don't pay for anything. It's free. You can go to a hospital, whatever, for free. So there's those costs that you don't have to consider. There's so many things that they take into consideration to make the life of a student a lot easier and a lot less expensive for you to, make it in life, They want you to come to Europe, So don't think about the fact that, oh my gosh, I have to pay tuition fees. There are other ways you can actually cut off in regards to paying or affording to live in France. That being said, I will be doing another video about tips and what have you to actually decrease the amount that you end up paying as a whole if you're studying abroad, specifically in France, because I know more about France because I live here. So so stay tuned to that one as well. And then there are other countries in the EU where you can actually study for free as well. It's Norway, there's Austria, there's Denmark, there's Poland. Poland, you do pay a fee, but it's a fee you pay a minimum of 1,500, but living in Poland is so cheap. You pay a maximum of 8,000 in regards to living expenses. That's the maximum that you would pay. So that's the highest. So it's quite really affordable for studying and living in Europe if you want to do that. So as you can see, there's many options of studying abroad for a lot less than you would if you were in America or in another, maybe in Asia. I'm not sure about Asian countries. I'm just speaking specifically about Europe and America. Yes, I am biased, but I've just showed you what some of the reasons that a lot of people, I have friends actually who have left America and have come to Europe to study here because it's cheaper for them to study here, and they can go back with a whole MBA or a master's, and go back to their country, their home country, and have paid half of what their counterparts had paid. I'm just saying, that's one of the benefits of living of studying in Europe. The second reason why I think it's an amazing opportunity to study in Europe is because the admission process. The admission process is a lot easier in Europe than it is in America. In America, it requires a lot of documentation, a lot of tests that you might have to do, from GMAT to English tests, what have you. They have that in Europe as well, but it's not as extensive. actually, and there's some universities that, all as long as you meet the minimum requirements in terms of, you are accepted, immediately accepted. That being said, there are private universities which have their own requirements in regards to there are private universities that have their own requirements, so that might be more extensive than public universities. But don't get it twisted. There's many public universities here in Europe that are in the top. There are universities in Europe, public universities, which are in the top 50 universities in the world to study. So don't think just because it's in a public university, it's probably not the same level. There are multiple that are really good and will get you highly recognized wherever you go across the world. So just putting it out there. So now you've decided that you want to study, you've studied and you've got your degree abroad, so now you want to maybe live somewhere else. Your degree will be recognized because majority, and not majority, all of the universities that you are public universities in Europe, or even the private, private is differs, but you know what I mean, they're accredited and also recognized across the world. So don't think just because you went to a public university in Germany or what have you that it might not be recognized. Best believe some of them have the top rankings in the world, so just be aware of that. And also it also really looks great on your CV if you have a study abroad aspect. It shows that you are more culturally aware, you're more open to the world, you have a more open mind. So best believe you will be some of the highly most sought out employees out there. For example, companies like JP Morgan, Big Four accounting firms, they're always looking for students who actually have a study abroad, have done a study abroad of sorts. A fourth reason why studying in Europe is a better option, in my opinion, is that the courses are a lot shorter. Looking at me specifically, my course was 1.5 years. That's including where you have to do your internship. So my actual physical coursework was around 9 months. And that's crazy because think about it, you only have to study for 9 months and then you can go on and do, majority of the universities in Europe require that you do a stage in France, which is your internship, to actually validate your degree. So once you're doing your internship, the companies are required to actually pay you during your stage or your internship. So literally you only have to worry about less than a year of paying for your living expenses, because once you're in a stage you don't get paid a lot, but you do get paid enough to survive. So there's that aspect. My whole course I think was less than 2 years, around 1.5 years max. Whereas in America, the courses are much longer, and a master's degree specifically will be a minimum of 2 years. So in Europe, you can get away with a whole lot shorter courses. It means that you don't have to worry about paying for less days or less months of living in that country. And then on top of it, you are required to do a stage, an internship, and they pay you while you're doing your internship. So I mean, that's like amazing, I think, because you get paid, you're getting paid, and then on top of it, you're getting experience, and you don't have to worry about living expenses at that point in time, even though you're still a student technically. So I'm just putting it out there. And finally, if you choose to study in Europe, you have a Schengen visa. So what that means is you can go anywhere in Europe. Majority, not all, let me not say anywhere, in the EU, countries that are part of the EU. Something random, I don't know. But there's a lot of countries that you can go to, just literally drive into and, live your best life. And it's ridiculously cheap to travel in Europe. There's trains that you can take, and there's flights which are ridiculously cheap. So honestly, even if you're a student, you can still travel, still have the experience of traveling to multiple countries and experiencing different cultures in the space of you doing your degree. It's insane. In my year of studies, I traveled. I traveled, but I mean, I wished I had more time. Obviously, MBA was very stressful, but the amount of traveling that you can do as a student is really, it's astounding, and it was mind-boggling to me. I was just like, I can literally book today and get on a train and be in Germany, and the next day be in Switzerland or Luxembourg. It's insane how easy and affordable it is to travel in Europe. So I think that to me is something that anybody should take into consideration if you're studying abroad is it enriches your experience even more. It's not just you living in another country. You're living in another country and you can travel to multiple different countries, different languages, different people. It's a melting pot of just amazingness. Yes, I'm biased, okay, because I love Europe. I love the lifestyle in Europe, and I think the opportunities are insane. So those are the reasons for me that I think if you're really thinking about studying abroad, you should study in Europe, and also you can do it for such an affordable amount. I would really like to speak more about what are the little kinks and little tricks to get it even more cheaper for you to study abroad. I'll probably do that in the next video of some sort. But I hope you've enjoyed this time with me. I hope you've learned a bit about why I think Europe is the best place for you to study. And if you want more videos on such topics, just subscribe to my channel. I'll obviously be doing more of these in the future and helping you guys out to just have more people just experience life abroad and just living a different type of lifestyle, because it's amazing. It really enriches your life. Please don't forget that my competition is still on and that I will be announcing the winner next week. But for this coming week, you can still enter. That means I will leave the rules and what you need to do to be able to be counted for the competition. But as I said, it'll be a few goodies from Sephora, and I've already gone shopping, and there's things like some Fenties that we got going got some NARS. So there's gonna be lots of goodies in here. I'm not gonna show you everything, but like there's some stuff that you're gonna win if you do enter and complete all the requirements. I know for a fact that you need to be subscribed to my channel. The second is that you need to share a link to my videos, to my YouTube channel, and the third is that you comment as done on the bottom on my comments, that I know and I can include you in the competition. So I do hope that you have an opportunity to do this, and if you win, you can win yourself some awesome Sephora goodies. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you are now even more driven to want to study abroad, because it's actually really affordable. It's not as crazy and insane as you might think. So catch me on the next episode. I hope you have an amazing day going forward. Have a great one. Bisous, my friends. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Au revoir.